Coming up on City Beat, we'll take you to the annual Veterans Stand Down, where 150 providers come together under one roof to help our veterans with a variety of services. And meet an inspiring vet who says the stand down saved his life, so now he's back to help others. Plus, a prom dress can be pricey for any teen, but thanks to one local nonprofit, needy and homeless teens are getting a beautiful boost for prom night. And the next time you visit one of our great City of Las Vegas parks, make sure to say hello to these guys. It's the new unit of Deputy City Marshals who are using motorcycles to keep our parks safe and inviting. Hello, everybody, and welcome to City Beat. I'm your host, Nancy Byrne, and we are coming to you from the beautiful Lorenzi Park. It's a little breezy out here today, but we thought we'd risk it anyway because it's just so lovely out here, and this is such a well-used park. A little bit later on, we're going to tell you about a program that was launched right here to make sure people stay safe at all of our city parks and trails. But first, it wasn't too long ago that the City of Las Vegas had the honor of announcing that we were one of only 2 communities in the entire country to meet First Lady Michelle Obama's challenge to end veterans' homelessness. It's called Being Functional Zero. And one of the reasons we were able to do that is because of the collaborative spirit in our city. One example of that is the Veterans Stand Down, something held every March. And this year we discovered a lot of people who were helped at that stand down come back to give back.
That looks like a beautiful shirt for you.
Yes, it does.
Would you like to try it? Turn around. Let me see. This is how we do it in the clothing store.
Terry Ritz worked in a department store many years ago. He taps into his old skill set to help out here at the Veterans Stand Down at Cashman Center, getting other veterans into whatever clothing they need to either stay warm or perhaps wear on a job interview.
We'll hook you up just like you're in the store. Look at that. Boy, I'm pretty good, huh?
He understands where these men and women are coming from because he came from the same place. He is a Vietnam veteran. More than 40 years ago, he worked on an amphibious assault ship.
What we did was carry 2,000 Marines and 3 different types of helicopters, and we landed the Marines on the beaches and in the jungles of Vietnam. And then we picked them up when they were either wounded or killed, and we took them to different area hospitals.
And like these veterans, he returned home from war a different person. He was on and off the streets for more than 15 years when his life was saved by this little card he still carries around with him to this day.
It's a little card that they hand out at stand downs that give to the veterans that state that if you're going through a difficult time and you feel like, you're going to commit suicide, or want to take your life because you don't see any way out and you're homeless, give us a call before you take the next step. And that's what I did. I called. I was out in the middle of the desert in my car. And that counselor talked with me for about 45 minutes. He called me the next day. And the next day I drove down this way.
He received the help he needed to get well and get a place to live, so he knows how important these stand downs are. Here, veterans are given the services and tools they need to get well and get back on their feet from more than 150 organizations and some 500 volunteers.
Everything under one roof, from basic needs, showers, shaves, haircuts. Free clothing and shoes are made possible in our stand-down store, where community members have donated all of their goods, and we've set it up to look like a store where the veterans can now shop for free. All the way up to housing placement today, employment and education, counseling, treatment.
Shalimar Cabrera of U.S. Vets, the organization that hosts the stand down, says they expect to help about 600 people this year, compared to 800 last year. But that's a good statistic because the number of homeless vets is down significantly this year. And it is her hope that more of those served here today will be the Terry Ritzes of tomorrow.
Right. Terry, exactly what we hope to happen for so many of the veterans that we're serving, if not all of them. So Terry, once a homeless veteran, was connected to our services, came to the stand down to receive services. Now living in his own home, keeping in touch with us is even the great part, so we know how well he's doing.
Thank you for your service. I appreciate that. All right, brother.
That's reward enough for us to know he's doing well in his own home. But the fact that he comes back and gives back to the veterans that are coming in behind him is exactly what we can hope for.
Terry Ritz is living proof that when you are about to go under and are at the end of your rope, if you just hang on to the rope with one hand and reach out for help with the other, there are organizations that will pull you in.
And the best service that I can give is to come back and give freely of what was freely given to me.
Shalimar says that U.S. vets may host that event, but they couldn't do it without a lot of help from others, including grants from the Department of Labor, as well as private and corporate donations. Well, we don't just help our vets around here in Las Vegas, we help our seniors. And one great way we do that is through Catholic Charities Meals on Wheels. This is a program that helps 2,000 seniors not have to make that decision. Do I buy groceries or pay for my medicine? Do I buy groceries or pay for my heat? Recently, Mayor Carolyn Goodman headed out with some of the Meals on Wheels crews to help feed some of our seniors.
How are you, friend?
Good.
How are you? You look beautiful.
Thank you.
And I'll give you a good luck merit chip to keep you lucky and healthy.
Oh, thank you very much. I need it at my age.
Frances has been living here in Las Vegas for more than 10 years, and in more recent years, she has found it a struggle to get to the store and purchase the groceries she needs. Fortunately, she is a client of Meals on Wheels, and on this particular day, she was being served up by Deacon Tom Roberts of Catholic Charities and our very own Mayor Carolyn Goodman.
Deacon Tom and I and his staff are out here delivering meals that Catholic Charities provides for senior citizens who really are in a position they can't shop, they can't take care of all their needs.
There are 1.5 million meals delivered every year in the state of Nevada, and 700,000 of those meals are coming out of southern Nevada into the Las Vegas greater community.
Earlier in the day, the mayor joined Deacon Tom Roberts at a press conference held every year, thanking those who help with the Meals on Wheels effort and letting people know just how important this service is to so many in our community.
The great news is this Meals on Wheels program that is provided free of charge to anyone who has that need is really making a difference. We're sending out 2,000 meals every day, 2,000, to people that are getting a quality meal that's overseen by a registered dietitian, a caring and committed staff, an executive chef.
In fact, the press conference made a move into the Catholic Charities kitchen where the food is prepared. And it was clear these seniors are getting more than just a loaf of bread and some cans of tuna. The menu is more like something you'd order in a fine restaurant.
So we have the chicken marsala, the vegetables, and cornbread. Everything that you see here, it's put together here in the form of scratch.
The meal was mayor tested and passed with flying colors.
This is the actual food that the clients are getting.
I mean, this is the sauce, the gravy, which Chef calls a demi-glaze. It's excellent.
And here's a little more icing on the cake. When the clients have a birthday, they actually get a cake delivered with their meals. And in more recent years, furry family members have been included in the home deliveries.
Sadly, we would see seniors that we would go into their homes and we would notice the dishes for Meals on Wheels that would be on the ground. And we would say to the seniors, why is the dish on the ground? And we would say, well, we're sharing the food with our pets.
What is actually being delivered here is not only nutrition for the body, but nutrition for the soul.
It's the dignity and compassion of that driver going into that home, delivering that meal, checking on that senior, having a conversation with that senior. Our drivers end up becoming family members often to the senior that in some cases may not have anyone else in their lives.
I've been doing this ever since I was elected in 2011, and I look forward to it every year.
If you'd like more information about Catholic Charities or Meals on Wheels, you can go to CatholicCharities.com. By the way, they have been doing their wonderful work in this community for 75 years now. We are going to stay on this charitable note now as we talk about homelessness. All too often, teens are a part of this tragic circumstance at a very vital point in their lives. Well, there's one local nonprofit that recognizes this and makes an effort to help hundreds of teens get a boost of confidence on one of the most important nights of their lives. Melissa Duran has that story. Rose
rows and rows of dresses, racks and racks of shoes. No, it's not a new outdoor shopping mall. These items have been collected for months by nonprofit organization Project 150, and they're all being given to high school students for free. It's called Prom Closet, and as you can tell from this line, it's a popular event. This is Shiva Amen's first time.
It's really nice because I was actually looking at prom dresses before, and I was like, there is no way that my mom is going to spend $200 on a prom dress. So being able to get it for free is really, really nice.
The Rancho High School senior isn't alone. Like many teens, affording these luxury items is nearly impossible. Her friend, Ebony Mosley, needed a dress for her ROTC ball that very night. And thanks to Prom Closet, finding that perfect dress is possible.
Yeah, I love this event so much because a lot of people aren't able to afford dresses or shoes and all that stuff, and it really helps a lot of people, and I think it's really nice.
While Project 150 opens up this event to any student with a high school ID, their mission is to help homeless teens. Executive Director Meli Pulido says this kind of help is needed more than many realize.
There's over 12,000 homeless school district students from kindergarten to 12th grade. In high school alone, there's over 2,500. That's registered that have raised their hand and said, yes, I'm homeless. Double that number that are displaced and disadvantaged, which means that attending prom and getting all the ensemble for prom, it's a luxury decision, and that shouldn't be.
And while many are inclined to help small children, this age group wasn't getting the help they needed. That's why Project 150 formed. And this year the community stepped up, donating prom-worthy attire and volunteer time. Zappos was a big sponsor, lending their campus for the event and filling the gap with any items Project 150 needed. The sponsors and community as a whole came through in a big way, but the benefits are priceless.
95% of them were brand new. So if we give them the means to attend prom, their self-esteem is going to increase. They're going to blend in on something they thought was not possible.
Pulido says these teens are just needing a hand up so they can become successful citizens. As for the guys, well, they were not forgotten either. Hundreds of suits and ties were made available to them as well. Students like Shiva and Ebony are now able to go to prom in a brand new dress, new shoes, and they feel good knowing their less fortunate classmates will have the same opportunity.
At Rancho, we have a large population of homeless youth, and I feel like they don't get enough help. You know, we have something called community in schools and something like that, and I know that they help out a lot, but there are other things like going to prom and stuff that I feel like a lot of homeless youth don't get to experience. So the fact that they offer this is really nice because I feel like they should also be a part of the experience because why not, you know?
And why not is right, because prom is something every high schooler should experience. For City Beat, I'm Melissa Duran.
Thank you so much, Melissa Duran, for that story. Well, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, pedestrian deaths are at an epidemic level right now in our community. We're going to tell you about a new effort that will hopefully save some lives. Congratulations to the City of Las Vegas Employee of the Month, Tasha Ely. Tasha is the Administrative Secretary for Building and Safety and is known by coworkers and external customers as one of the most outgoing and friendly people you will find at our Development Services Center. She's always ready and willing to take on any task with her trademark phrase, "I've gotcha." She embodies all of our city's values, especially teamwork. She's always there to lend a hand or take on a new project to make sure her department and the city are providing top-notch customer service. She tackles every task with enthusiasm and determination and shows the public every day how much the city values serving our residents. For her part in making Las Vegas a great place to live, work, and play, a tip of the hat to Tasha Ely, the City of Las Vegas Employee of the Month.
done with your bike, donating it to Goodwill may be the most incredible of all. Your donations help fund job placement and training for people in your community, which means your stuff can be more powerful than you think. Donate stuff, create jobs.
Welcome back to City Beat, where we are braving a rather breezy day to bring you the beauty of Lorenzi Park. In just a few minutes, we're going to tell you about a program that was recently launched here to help people be more safe in all of our parks and trails. Speaking of safety, it does seem like every time we turn on the TV, there has been another pedestrian or cyclist hit by a car. Metro says that last year there were 125 fatalities on our roadways. 50 were pedestrians. Well, now there's a new program being launched that will hopefully teach us all we need to learn to share the road. It is becoming more and more popular to walk or ride bikes in order to get around our city. They're both great ways to be green and stay healthy. And with the well-marked crosswalks and designated bike lanes we have in our city, you'd think it'd be as safe as ever. But these features are only as safe as the people who use them. According to Las Vegas Metropolitan Police, pedestrian fatalities are reaching epidemic levels, and it's not just a problem in Las Vegas.
I think it's a global problem. I think it's everybody's issue.
Sergeant Richard Strader of Metro's Fatal Detail says everyone is responsible for making our roads safe for drivers, pedestrians, and cyclists.
If I've said it once, I've said it a million times. It's everybody's responsibility to be safe on our roadways, from the pedestrians walking down the street, picking the correct places to cross, making good, smart decisions when they decide to cross the road. I don't advocate pedestrians not crossing at a crosswalk because that's the safest place for them. That's where we expect pedestrians to be. But if you're going to make that bad decision, don't do it when cars are coming down the road because you're going to lose that race every time.
He says even with all the safety measures on our roads and in our automobiles, fatalities and injuries continue to rise. He points to one of the biggest problems.
The biggest problem we have nowadays is what we have right here. We're all so distracted in our lifestyle. Everything we do has something to do with our smartphones, our calendars, and we have to understand that when we get behind the wheel of a vehicle, or if we're walking down the street, that's the most important thing that we can do. We want to save each other's lives.
No one can make drivers or walkers put those phones away, but now there is a way to put a reminder right out there on our roadways that we must be more diligent about sharing the roads. This specialty plate is now available through the Nevada DMV. Like others that raise awareness for issues such as organ donation, the arts, and keeping Lake Tahoe clean, it displays a positive message and supports education. The Share the Road plate funds educational projects through grants from the Nevada Bicycle and Pedestrian Advisory Board. Sergeant Strader feels any message to share the roads is a life-saving message. Here are just a couple of other tips he would like to see emphasized more often. Cross only at crosswalks. Have eye contact with drivers.
And don't think that you're in a safety zone. It's not a force field when that light changes. The crosswalk is vulnerable. We've had pedestrians struck in the crosswalk before. Make sure that you're making eye contact with those drivers. Make sure those cars are stopping. And if you have multiple lanes, make sure that you're clearing every lane.
As part of Metro's Fatal Detail, Sergeant Strader sees injuries and deaths that are preventable 99% of the time. If we just learn to follow the rules of the road, put away distractions, and slow down.
That person thinks that the reason they're getting from point A to point B is more important than everybody else, when in fact that you're sharing these roads with everybody else. If you're late, you're going to be late. Yeah. It is what it is.
For more information on the Share Your Road plates or any specialty plates, you can go to dmvnv.com. Well, as we've been telling you throughout the show, a program was recently launched right here at Lorenzi Park aimed at making our parks and our trails a lot safer. It's all about being more mobile. Lorenzi Park is one of the oldest and most popular parks in the city of Las Vegas, offering everything from fishing to walking trails. It's also 80 acres of recreation, making it a challenge for our marshals to patrol. That is, until now. On March 21st, city leaders gathered at the park to launch this new unit that will make every square inch of this 80-acre oasis more accessible.
Our Detention and Enforcement Office has formed a new team of 4 officers who will be patrolling our parks and trails full time on motorcycles.
Chief Michelle Freeman kiddingly says she'd love to take credit for this idea, which will make the marshals more mobile and more accessible to the public, but she simply can't.
The inception of it was because of their creativity, and they had an idea that it would be better to get into the parks on a more maneuverable instrument, because traditionally our patrol vehicles aren't able to have the maneuverability that our bikes have.
And it's not just Lorenzi Park where you'll be seeing this unit. They will patrol all city parks as well as our growing trail system.
As we continue to roll out and connect the trail systems from the Red Rock National Preservation out to the northwest into downtown and connecting all the way out to East Las Vegas, we'll have approximately of 240 miles of connectable trail systems that our officers will have an opportunity to be inside of, to make sure that those that are walking and those that are experiencing the wonderful trail systems that we have here in the city of Las Vegas and throughout will know that they will have a level of safety having these officers out patrolling these areas.
Deputy Marshal David Compson is part of the new patrol. He says while it may look like fun and games, it actually involves serious training for the marshals, an 80-hour course conducted by Metro's Traffic Bureau.
The course consisted of high-speed and low-speed cone courses, exercises and maneuvers that trained you how to handle the bike in tight situations and in crowded areas, congested locations, that kind of thing. Also how to safely brake the bike at high speeds and how to maneuver in traffic and how to be safe about it.
He says aside from enabling them to get in and around more easily, they are already finding it's making them seem more accessible to the public.
Instead of being almost unapproachable in a car because you're closed off, you're out there around everybody, and the amount of interactions that we've had have been just amazing. The public really enjoys it.
I look forward to the feedback. I know we've already received some amazing feedback, not just from the officers that are riding, but from the community as well, that, you know, they're seeing an officer presence. And I think one of the most important things is to build community trust, and I think our community policing model does that, and being on the bikes are giving us a better opportunity to communicate with our public and our citizens better than we ever have before.
The only real task ahead for this team is to determine which of the two types of bikes are best for the job. An electric bike that goes 35 to 80 miles on one charge, or the gas alternative, which gets 75 to 130 miles on one tank of gas. So with this ceremonial launch of the unit, you can now look forward to feeling even safer in every corner of every park and on any mile of any trail.
The only people I've heard negativity from would be the people who we happen to apprehend because we roll up on them in the middle of their criminal activity, and then they have nowhere to go and no way to deny that they were doing whatever they were doing.
Well, there's a lot of ground for them to cover here at Lorenzi Park, as well as the more than 60 parks we have in the city, not to mention our trails. When we come back, we're going to take you to another park, Bunker Park, and see the power of volunteering.
Buying a new home is possible, even in today's economic climate. Whether you're looking to purchase a new home or are a first-time home buyer, one call can connect you to state and federal funds that may be available to you. Home Again is a free public service that can help you access free state and federal programs. Call 1-855-457-4638 today to speak directly to a HUD-certified housing counselor. A no-fee public service from the Office of the Nevada Attorney General. 1-855-457-4638.
Here at the GED Pep Talk Center, we have pep talkers standing by to get you motivated for your GED diploma. Text the name Terry to 69222 for a sympathetic pep talk.
You show people what you really are.
Or for a gentle pep talk, text the name Deborah.
You know you're going to make people very proud of you.
And if that's not enough, text the name Danny for an extreme pep talk.
Prove everyone wrong. Show them you're the boss.
Get your GED pep talk and find free GED classes. Text the name of the person you want a pep talk from to 69222.
Welcome back to City Beat from Lorenzi Park. We've actually moved outside the Durfelt Senior Center. It's not a real large senior center, but it is very well attended by some active and very creative senior citizens. You know, the city of Las Vegas has more than 60 parks, and it's no easy task for our operations and maintenance people to keep them clean and groomed, although they do a fantastic job. But it never hurts to get a group of volunteers to chip in and help. And that's recently what happened at Wayne Bunker Park. Chris Sundell and his wife and 6 grandchildren are spending their Saturday morning picking up trash and clearing out dead vegetation here at Wayne Bunker Park.
Hi, everybody. I'm going to get a drink.
Well, most of the family is working on the cleanup. Actually, they are one family among hundreds of volunteers who are here with the Meadow Stake of the Mormon Church and Outside Las Vegas Foundation, whipping this popular Las Vegas City Park into shape.
Yeah, of course, we've been planning and talking about it for the several weeks to come. A lot of promotion, but it really doesn't take too much to get people to come out and help. We will be picking up trash, we will be painting, cleaning up the sand in the playgrounds, graffiti removal.
Wayne Bunker is a very well-used park with dog runs, picnic areas, playgrounds, walking trails, and so much more. People who use this park on a regular basis say it's typically in very good shape. But seeing all of these volunteers out here, giving it some extra loving care, is inspiring.
And we are neighbors and friends. And this is our neighborhood. We want to help take care of it.
The organization Outside Las Vegas is no stranger to these cleanups. The foundation helps to organize them all over city parks and trails. Members consider these cleanups to be an investment in city jewels.
Parks and trails, really focusing on all these places that we've invested in over the years because they're amazing assets for our community, they're great resources. Our cities do a great job taking care of them, but we all participate in taking care of these places that belong to us as well.
Councilman Stavros Anthony, who represents this area, never misses a chance to personally thank the volunteers.
Everybody's come together this morning to really showcase that we are a great city and that we have great residents, and they've come out here to spend their morning, Saturday morning, and making sure that we got great parks for people to enjoy.
Baca echoes the councilman's sentiment. She says when she sees these residents out here working together, she knows she's seeing more than a cleanup. She's seeing community pride at its best.
I think that's one of the most special things about volunteering is you're shoulder to shoulder with your neighbors and you're taking care of these places that belong to us, and you really feel the sense of personal investment because you're there caring for it.
Boy, do we love our groups of volunteers. Thank you so much for helping Wayne Bunker Park look even better than it did before you got there. Well, you know, the city of Las Vegas doesn't just have great parks. We also have a wonderful adaptive sports program. In fact, back on March 12th and 13th, there was a wheelchair basketball tournament. We'll take you to that as we say goodbye.